beautiful Gemini, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I will also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, this is a little bonus reading for the next solar eclipse. It occurs on the 20th of April this year, of course, and it's when the sun, the moon, and the earth align to create a total hybrid solar eclipse, which is the rarest one of all. Now, it's often called the Ningaloo eclipse, which is an Aboriginal word describing elevated ground or land, and incidentally, Ningaloo Coast in Australia is the best place to view it. It will be available to view for about 3 hours, and that's on the Exmouth Peninsula. However, spiritually, it is the perfect time to align with your higher self and access the higher frequencies available for healing and for manifestation. Now, you may notice subtle changes in your behavior, your emotions, feeling a little bit more sensitive than usual. Pets and wild animals will also feel the shift during an eclipse. So you may notice that they are out of sorts or they have slightly erratic behavior, but this too shall pass. Now, interesting, a lot of signs are getting this card, the pink moon. It's aside from the fact that there is a solar eclipse, but the pink moon normally represents new chapters. So this is actually a very positive time for you. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But it has been noted that during an eclipse, this is a wonderful fact actually, that certain spiders, they dismantled their webs during a solar eclipse and they rebuild them over the eclipse after it passes. And this is really notable because it means we're all affected on a very subtle level. When it comes to eclipses, energetically, we can feel the shift. The alignment of the sun, the earth, and the moon actually represents a very powerful time for healing, but also for coming together in union and dissolving any differences, coming together as one. So collectively, it is a very positive time, especially as the pineal gland for collective awakening is activated during this period. Also, eclipses, they are quite chaotic, so I'm not going to lie to you, it will be a bit of a bumpy ride there, but it actually offers a positive inspiration to overcome any obstacles, but it may drain your energy. So it is worth protecting your energy during that solar eclipse on the 20th of April. Now, there's also an alignment with Pluto, so you may feel compelled to detox your body, starting with your diet. Also look at your sleeping patterns, eating patterns, and transforming areas of your life from the inside out. So bringing in spiritual practices, meditation, or even just quiet moments to really focus on your inner thoughts. I mean, I see that you are going to go through a very spiritual awakening during this, a high spiritual awakening during this period, and you're going to reach a goal that you've been thinking about for quite some time. But with the introspection card there, I feel that this is going to be a very spiritual time. You're going to be doing a lot of soul searching through this particular solar eclipse. Now, also, it's worth noting that as the new moon is in the sign of Aries, new moons tend to coincide with solar eclipses. It is a time for focusing on your goals and putting them into practice, so that you get stuff done. And I definitely see that you're going to tie up any loose ends and accomplish what you started, really hit the mark and achieve your goals. Also, there is a second lunation in Aries, so this does mean that you have an opportunity for a second chance in some area of your life. Now, this could be if you feel like you've missed out on love. There is a second chance opening up for you in love. If you want to find someone new, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're vibing at a frequency where you're yearning for love, you will attract that into your life. Also, if you want new business opportunities or financial opportunities, there is a portal of change opening up for you to attract second chances in those areas as well. Or some of you may just yearn to rediscover or reconnect to a part of yourself that you feel that you've detached from in some way, that you have felt, has been missing. You may have felt there's like a missing piece, and you yearn to get back to that part of yourself. Now, also the sun moves into Taurus, so we are going to enter Taurus season during this period, and things start to slow down in a very positive way, okay? It's all about value, how you value yourself, and looking at areas where you feel you have been undermined or undervalued and rectifying that situation as well. It's also a time to focus on your finances and on abundance. Yeah, there's your King of Pentacles there for that. Because Taurus season actually represents finances. So it does mean that you're attracting more wealth at this time, or being more financially savvy, using your knowledge to build on your wealth. And it's worth noting that the immune system is something to be looked at during this period. So, make sure you are eating the right foods, substances, and, getting the right vitamins, because your immune system can be a little bit weakened during this period. So you can open yourself up to, the latest seasonal cold, or it's a heightened time for allergies as well. So just note that as you move forward. Now, we do have Mercury retrograding, and that's on the 21st of April. So expect, information to get lost, or electronic devices to have glitches, issues with mail going into spam folders, especially important mail. So I would check your spam folders regularly during Mercury retrograde. What's wonderful is it doesn't last long. It ends on the 14th of May. But I always say that there is a positive in a negative. So when a Mercury retrograde occurs, it offers us all an opportunity to really take a step back and take stock of all that has been going on. So it gives you time to breathe and really think about your next steps, your next move. So a Mercury retrograde isn't always negative, but it is worth noting that it's in the sign of Taurus, which can lead to miscommunications in the financial sector, as well as changes in currency and alliances financially. Now, we've already started to see that in the world. There are different alliances forming to change currencies and, formulate digital currencies, things like that. So that's already happening. You can always feel the shift, but things start to become a little bit more solid as you move into that Mercury retrograde. So it's a really great time to really check in on your budget, and also to make sure that you protect your assets by housing them in financial institutions that are not linked should there ever be any economic fluctuation, especially if you've got two institutions that are linked. You're only insured for one institution, or up to a certain amount, and anything else is lost. So I would make sure you protect your finances. Although with the King of Pentacles present, I see that you are actually very savvy about your financial decisions. You're being bold, and actually you're putting yourself in a really good position to weather any storm. Now, we do have the Hermit card here. So you may feel like withdrawing a little bit through this energetic shift, the solar eclipse there. And I feel it's more to reflect on something that perhaps has been a little bit unfair in your life, or you feel that you don't trust someone. With this Seven of Swords here, and the Four of Swords, and the Hermit, I feel like you are wise to not tell people about your decisions or your plans, okay? Because the Seven of Swords can mean that there could be an indiscretion. Someone could blurt out your personal business by accident or on purpose, and it will lead to some friction there. So that's coming out briefly as well. Also, I want you to note with the solar eclipse in particular, that there is heightened time for tidal forces to bring seismic events. So earthquakes and things like that are heightened during this period. I don't see anything major occurring. I'm not being given the privy knowledge to see that at this time. I can only give you what I see and what I pick up on. I can't make anything up or assume. That would be awful. I would never assume. So I'm just picking up on the energy. But it's worth noting that during eclipses, scientifically, there is a more heightened time for a seismic event. Also, ultimately, this eclipse will see you reassess your life and what you value most in life and attract more of that and the good stuff. So if you're feeling dissatisfied, this is a perfect time for you to self-evaluate and change what you want to change, because a very strong portal of high frequency is opening up with this solar eclipse to offer heightened manifestation. So write down all that you desire and watch those things become a reality. So use this portal for an opportunity. I actually see some great opportunities coming in for you anyway. But the Hermit here is you in a period of needing to recharge your batteries and take stock. Some of you may have felt that you need a new start or a new chapter, especially since you got the Fool card. The Ten of Swords here, Ten of Swords indicates you ending something and opening yourself up to a wonderful, positive new beginning in some area of your life. And the Fool card represents launching yourself at it. And I feel you may have been hesitant to start something new or open yourself up to something new recently, but you're contemplating it at this time. So you may be making some major decisions over the solar eclipse about your next steps or your next move. Now, the Hermit energy really is about finding a pocket, a moment of silence or quietness for yourself, because the Hermit does not really go into the cave of life until he or she feels very overwhelmed by the way life is going. So you may have felt that you have a lot of responsibility, things have been piling up, you may have felt like you don't have enough time to do all the things that you want to do, and you just feel a little bit like it's time to take a step back and take stock. Now, over this period, there will be a regroup of your energy, and you will find that vitality that you seek if you've been feeling unmotivated or lack of energy recently. Some of you may look at your food substances, the things that you're eating, to see if there's anything that is draining your energy or making you feel lackluster or bloated or just lethargic. There's certain things that you can eat that will give you an intense high, but then they come crashing down in energy. I also feel like some things that you may eat that taste great. We all do that. My my arch nemesis, as it were, or my Achilles heel, shall we say, is pasta. I love pasta, right? After eating that, I know that I'm like it's time to snooze. It makes me feel immediately very, very tired. So I don't eat it often, but at the same time, I don't limit it from my diet, but a little bit of what you fancy does you good, right? So I just see that you are looking at areas of things that you can cut out so that you can bring some more harmony and balance into your life. I feel like you're trying to find that sweet spot, that equal spot in your life where things just feel like they are increasing your energy, increasing your mood, and helping you remain active in areas of your life as well. Now, some of you may have been a bit of a homebody recently because we have the Four of Swords, or you may even feel compelled over this solar eclipse to, be a little bit at home more than usual, maybe taking a duvet day, or you're just searching or seeking for what you perceive is home, this sense of wanting to belong, okay? A lot of you will be focusing on reflecting on your dreams. Okay, you've got a dream catcher right there, reflecting. And as you can see, it's a little polar bear, okay, that's like in hibernation. So you may have felt that you have been literally in a bit of a hibernation state in some area of your life. And I feel like you're starting to thaw out a little bit and wanting to get out there and see what the world has to offer, especially since your 11th house is governing you at this time. The 11th house is really about your hopes and wishes and what you desire for your future. But it's also a great time not just to manifest, but also to get a little bit more social, because the 11th house represents your social circles, your networks, whether it's for business or for pleasure. It really is a time for seeking pleasure and opening yourself up to new people and new experiences. So if you have been a bit of a homebody for a while, I definitely see this solar eclipse getting you out of your comfort zone and you connecting to things that bring a little bit more excitement and a little bit more spontaneity. So you may even receive an invitation to go to a concert or an art gallery or to a movie or to a theater, something that really sparks your attention and gets you out of yourself. Even if it's like, to go out for dinner or something, I definitely see invitations starting to make their way to you, especially towards the end of April into the beginning of May. I'm actually seeing someone in the water right now cutting a cake. So I mean, it could be that someone invites you over for tea, or you're having cake, or it could be someone's birthday, or there's some sort of celebration. It could be a wedding cake, whatever it is. I see someone cutting cake, and they're giving a slice to you. It could also represent life, you being given a slice of the pie. It's your time to receive abundance. It's your time to be part of the goodness that is on offer. So I definitely see some positive things going on for you. I mean, at the beginning here, your protagonist energy, I feel like something has been worrying you, or something has made you feel like running away from it. So there may be an issue that you've been struggling with. The Seven of Swords is a real reminder of two things, really. One is, don't go too fast when you're making decisions. Take time out to take stock and mull it over before you make a decision, because you don't want to miss anything. As you can see, the Seven of Swords there, he's got 5 swords in his hands, but he's left 2 behind. He's managed to take 3 swords in one hand, so he could definitely take another sword in that extra hand where he's only got 2. So he could take 3 and 3, but he has had to move in stealth. So he's actually, missed some swords there. He's missed an opportunity. But there may be something that you can return to that, because he's always looking back. So this is a card where he's looking back to with the means to return to it. So some of you may have a project that you've got on the go, and or a book that you've got on the go, or there's something you've been meaning to do, and you're like, oh, I got to do that thing, but you're like, oh, but you know what, I can't face it right now. I'm not going to do it. And you know that you will return to it, but right now there's something that you're like, you know what, I just can't. I'm just not in the mood. So some of you are going with the 4 of Swords, are going through a very intense healing period, or you're, really focusing on what's going on in your mind. And there's some things that you just cannot deal with right now. You will face these things. You will launch yourself into it. And I feel like you will resolve these things just after the solar eclipse. So there is peace of mind that is on offer for you. Now, the second energy I'm getting from the Seven of Swords there is diplomacy, because this figure, it's actually a very positive card. In the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, it's a yellow background, golden background, and anything that has a yellow or golden background in the Tarot is actually positive. So the history of this card is this figure is stealing the swords from the army. He does not want to fight. He wants to find an alternative way to resolve a situation. So I feel that right now, whatever it is you're wrestling with, you're trying to find an alternative way to resolve it or face it. Okay. And I feel some of you may need diplomacy. Now, this may be somebody that you're dealing with, especially if you're in a working environment. You may have to find a very, how can I put that? You have to find a very, there's a word I want. Dear, could you please give me the word that I'm looking for? Diplomatic. Thank you so much. I'm sure grateful. You may be trying to find a diplomatic way to resolve something at work, or trying to deal with somebody who is quite difficult at work, someone who tries to micromanage you, someone who perhaps has been trying to prevent you from moving forward on something. And some of you may even think about leaving a situation because of this person or this situation. If you're deciding to leave a situation because of a person, I would say that you're actually walking into something better with more money. And I would say it's actually a really perfect move for you. Sometimes the universe puts people or situations in front of us to actually influence our decisions to change. So if things are becoming too intense or upsetting in a situation, that is the universe putting these blocks in front of you, or these people in front of you, so that you learn a lesson, and listen to your heart and make decisions to change. When things become so uncomfortable, the universe is literally sending you a tower moment where you feel restricted. You feel like you're going round and round in circles, and you need to break out. That's when you get that Fool card, which is to launch yourself in a new direction. So if you're struggling with something or somebody, I definitely see you cutting it out, ending it. It may be a very graceful, diplomatic way of walking away from it, Or you may even discover a new way to approach it or respond differently to it that puts you in a very powerful position. So you may actually decide to stay, but you find an alternative way of approaching it, and you actually come out on top. You win the day, is what I see. You win the day. Now, for some of you, if it's a toxic environment, because you do have the devil card right there, I definitely see you removing yourself from this situation, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or a working environment, or even a communal environment. If you are, for example, retired and you are a member of a community and they are, there's a clique, or there's someone perhaps, singling you out because they are jealous or envious of you, or they feel threatened by you in some way. I definitely get a sense of you walking away from that situation. And actually, I do feel that you have people on your side, but I feel like you will find where you fit in. You will find your soul tribe. Okay. Now I'm just going to pull a quick card on the Seven of Swords. Now, this is not going to resonate for everyone. There's a small pocket coming through, so I want to pull a card on it. So I do apologize for those that this is not going to resonate with, this part, but I have to mention it because it's coming up. Some of you, before you came to this reading, you may have experienced some sort of theft, okay? And it may have made you feel like violated in some way, okay? They are indicating that peace of mind will come and that you are protected and redirected. You are being protected in this situation. They're actually showing me an Eye of Horus in the water as well. Now, the Eye of Horus actually, it does mean protection, but it also means prosperity as well as power to ward off negativity. So if you have gone through some sort of theft recently and you've been feeling a little bit isolated, or you feel a little bit nervous, because it depends on the level of the theft, whether you've actually been physically robbed, or someone has pinched your stuff at work, or whether someone has actually broken into your home. It depends on your level of theft. I don't see it happening. It's only if you've just come to the reading and already experienced this, okay? Because the protagonist energy means you've dealt with this situation right now and it's something you're mulling over at the moment. So I definitely see that you will heal from this. There is peace of mind. You may change some aspects. It may have influenced you to change some aspects of yourself, but long term it's not going to influence you, and it was not personal is what I'm being given. It is not personal, so there is peace of mind, okay? I mean, nobody likes it to happen. I've had it happen to me as well in the past, many years ago, and both in the form of someone pinching my handbag, and at the same, and in different years, of course, someone broke into my home as well. So I completely understand. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles on this situation. This is your outcome, King of Pentacles. So whatever it is, King of Pentacles is your outcome, which means money is attracted to you. There's some good stuff coming. You are going to obtain some sort of prosperity. And if you have had something pinched on you, there has been some level of theft, you will get some money back, or there'll be insurance on something, okay? And if you think, oh gosh, I didn't have insurance, I see the universe actually gifting you some good karma out of it as well. Okay, I know you wish the situation hadn't happened, but they're showing me there's some good stuff to come. So do believe in the good in the world. This is a one-off. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. Now, for some of you, you may be quietly leaving a situation, easing yourself out by just going silent or going off grid. Some of you, you may be just downsizing the amount of work you're doing at work because you've got a new opportunity lined up, or you may be putting your resume out there to find a new opportunity. There's definitely one coming on in with that Ace of Wands, and it's going to lead to a lot of financial prosperity. I mean, some of you are stepping up into a leadership position, and you may already have been tapped in your environment for a promotion, and you may have to keep it quiet so you're not letting any of your colleagues know about it, and you may feel a little bit like out of sorts having to keep that secret, but at the same time it is necessary to be professional in that situation. So that's what I see if you're in a working environment. If you have lost your job before you come to this reading, I definitely see an opportunity coming on in here for you. You will reach your goal of earning more money, and actually you're going to get more status and responsibility in this role as well. So It's a real step up. So there's something a lot more positive headed in your direction too. Now, some of you, you may have gone through a procedure. There may have been some sort of surgery or something you've been going through that has made you feel a little bit off center, maybe an unwellness. Okay, so the Four of Swords indicates a lot of healing over this solar eclipse. This is a time to really meditate on life and really look at your direction, but ultimately it is to recharge your batteries. Remember, you are protected. The fact that they gave you the Eye of Horus, this is an image that you may see everywhere in the next 6 weeks. You may see it on someone's necklace, or you'll be gifted it, or you may even see it on a billboard or on a sign somewhere. The Eye of Horus, I mean, you may have one already, but I feel this is something outside yourself that you're going to see everywhere you go, which indicates you are protected at this time against any negative experiences. Obviously, do your due diligence and keep your eyes peeled for any fluctuations in the world or in your, your immediate circumstances, because I feel like you're putting yourself in a really good position to be stable and to weather any storm. But the Four of Swords, some of you may be just deciding to withdraw in order to recharge your batteries and also to go deep inwards for answers and use meditation skills to go deeper on a subconscious level. And because you've got a Seven of Swords there, some people, because of Mercury retrograde, some people may misconstrue you detaching or, going off grid a little bit. They may misconstrue your energy, and they may come towards you asking, are you okay? Did I do anything? Is it my fault? Did I do something? And you're like, I'm not this. Nobody did anything. I just want to just have some time on my own, because the Seven of Swords can be a real quest for independence, you doing something differently that other people don't understand right now. You may have a path or a goal in mind that other people, they just can't understand or they can't get with the program right now, and you're like, that's fine, that's okay, because the Seven of Swords actually represents nonconformity and living life on your own terms without having to people please or live up to their expectations. So some of you are trying to release that level of expectation from other people and move away from groupthink and things like that in order to attend to your own needs. But of course, be diplomatic with these people who are asking, because they actually do care about you. Yeah, they do care a lot about you. So I just want you to be aware of that. Now, we do have the Fool card here, which is beginnings. There's something you've been meaning to start for some time. It's in the resistance position. The Temperance card indicates maybe you've been having patience and waiting for the right moment to do this. It could be setting up a business on your own. So you may be quietly quitting an opportunity in order to be very entrepreneurial and set up a new vision that you have. It will be very lucrative. It's going to be very, very successful. Some of you are already entrepreneurs, and you may be trying to release yourself from a contract or release yourself from a client that is difficult. I definitely see that you will do that, but make sure that you are diplomatic and find the right legal way to do that if you are bound by a contract, because I feel like you are protected, but this person may kick up a storm in order to get their way. So just watch out for that. Now, also, this card indicates that you have perhaps been with two swords in your first position. It can mean that you've been overthinking something or worrying about something, or perhaps you've been feeling a little bit restricted in some area of your life, and you've just been waiting for something to change, waiting to get closure on a situation, or waiting to actually, how wonderful. I don't even live near a shipping yard, and that just sounded, I'm going to have to play back the video to see if there was like a sound of a ship's horn. So some of you, it could mean literally travel overseas. Maybe you're launching yourself into some new travel. I get a sense that you are desiring fun. You perhaps have felt that fun has been lacking recently, or spontaneity has been lacking recently, or there's something, your life's purpose path, something you want to launch. And now is the time over the solar eclipse that you will do that. Okay. I mean, it's important. They're telling me it's important to have the keys. It's important to have the keys. Now, keys, they unlock opportunity. So I do feel portals are opening up to you, as well as doors that perhaps were shut before are now opening to you. The Fool card does represent some sort of risk or jumping into something. If you're normally very cautious, they're indicating that you may take a leap of faith in some area of your life, and it will be a really good decision, especially financially. Okay, I would keep a tight rein on your finances until you do your due diligence and make that leap of faith. But ultimately, the King of Pentacles sees you in a really good position, being a master or a mistress of your craft and manifesting more abundance, and a world of positive conditions are aligning with you and your highest good. Okay, now with the Fool card in this position, it can mean that recently you've been feeling a little bit of apathy, or you've been feeling low energy. You may have even lost hope in some area and felt a little bit cynical about your circumstances. And in a crazy world that we're living in right now, some of you may be asking, is this it? What's the point? You know, so you may have been trying really hard to garner motivation for what normally you were very excited about doing. So some of you may have had your confidence chipped away, or you just may be waiting for the right moment to, find that motivation or that vitality, which you will after the solar eclipse. Remember, the solar eclipse actually on the day, it drains your energy, but after that, it gives us all collectively a boost of energy to get stuff done. And you've got that Ace of Wands there, which indicates you're going to be very productive. You're going to be getting stuff done. You're not going to hold back in any areas. There's going to be no limitations, and any difficulties you've experienced before, the restrictions are going to be removed. The fear of failure will be removed. Everything is working in your favor to move you forward. Now, we do have the Ten of Swords. It's in the resistance position, so it's like I got it in the reverse, which means a new start. Basically, this card in this position literally means it's all up from here. So if you've been experiencing a very difficult time that you've been struggling with, and you just felt that things can't get any worse, well, they're about to get better, okay? Some of you, the Ten of Swords actually represents responding differently to a challenging situation and finding a more harmonious way to approach it. For example, if you're worried about something and you cannot change it physically, then that worry is lost energy. You can channel that energy into something more productive, because if there's nothing you can do about a situation physically, then there's no point in worrying about it. It's going to be as it's meant to be. If you can do something about it, use that energy to change your circumstances. What is meant for you will never pass you by. So breathe. All is well. I see some positive shifts going on here for you. And most importantly, you have a Six of Swords, which means any testing experiences you've had or any difficult, turbulent times, they are passing, and you are being guided out of difficulty and protected during any difficult times. Now, the Ten of Swords, some of you are literally leaving a job behind, or a situationship, or a friendship, or even a home space. Some of you may actually physically move to somewhere new, to relocate. With the Six of Swords, that can be a journey. But I feel you are removing any obstacles, and you are starting something new. It may even be a new diet or exercise routine, especially if you've been unwell and you're recovering. You may be looking at your diet and how, natural food substances or herbs and things like that can help you with your recovery. I definitely see recovery here for you as well. Now, the Temperance card, it's in the resistance position, so you may have felt something has been out of control, or your energy has been disruptive and things have been just a little bit out of balance. You may have felt that you've been pushed and pulled in many different directions. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. They're giving me a song right now. This song, wow. Okay. You know what? I have to say, now maybe I have heard it before. It's just not familiar to me. So it's like I've never heard this song by David Bowie. I definitely know it's his voice for sure. But it's almost like I've never heard this song. So I do apologize if I have heard it or it has come up in another reading, but right now I can't place it at all. So I'm going to give you the lyrics that they're giving me. One moment, please. All of my life, I've tried so hard, doing my best with what I had. Nothing. Okay, I missed it. It's like something like nothing, something happened at all. Oh, okay. I think it says nothing more happened, all the same. Nothing much. Thank you so much, I'm so grateful. My guy just said nothing much. Okay. I'm going to have to wait for the song to come around again. now that I've really got, oh, I can't quite grasp that bit. I'm so sorry. Everything's falling into place. Okay, sorry, some of those lyrics are blurred, or like it sounds really muffled, so I couldn't quite grasp. But it's definitely David Bowie's voice. And I'm getting a sense of course, you know, there's been something perhaps you've been finding difficult, but now it's all slotting into place. I feel these lyrics are there. They're sent to you as a message that things are going to get better. They are looking up, okay? Now this song, it may play for you in the next 6 weeks or so. You may hear it on the radio or in your play shuffle. It may suddenly come up, or someone may drive past in a car and it's playing there. So listen out for it. I do not recall hearing this song before, even though David Bowie is a very famous person. There's some songs, of course, I've not heard before, and I just think I haven't heard that one before. So I'll look it up. I would love to listen to it. And see what all those lyrics were that I couldn't quite grasp. I'll always be honest. I'm not going to make something up for you. If I can't get it, I'll always say I can't get it. So that song will be relevant for you, but it does indicate, you know, if things feel like they're stagnant or nothing's been happening, things are starting to fall into place. So trust the process, okay? Now, as the outcome energy, you've got some great cards. This is going to be a very spiritual time for you. You've got the High Priestess there, and it's going to be heightened time of intuition. So your spiritual practices will develop on a deeper level. So if you are psychic, for example, or you have psychic awareness, this will increase during the solar eclipse. Also, some of you may decide to go into spiritual practices that you've longed to try out, and you may find that you're actually quite gifted in those areas. But this card is really about a subconscious level going through major period of growth. And, you know, there is serenity here. This card is all about serenity and introspection. So with the Hermit and the Intuition card here, you can be working towards something in silence and not telling anybody about it until it becomes something tangible, or until you start to see levels of success or reaching your goal. And you will surprise people, but at the same time, you're going to feel so proud of yourself that you accomplished what you set out to do, because it's going to work out in your favor. It's going to work out exactly the way that you're hoping for, okay? Now, also, they're saying the keys are important in this card, and we've got a keyhole here. So some of you may literally be buying a property and you're not telling anybody about it until it goes through because you don't want to jinx it. Or some of you maybe deciding to move from an area or a neighborhood and you're not telling anybody. This is about keeping your projects under wraps. And because we got that message right at the beginning, be careful who you tell your information to, because there may be, you know, a confidentiality breach in some way. Just be careful who you trust, okay, is what I see there. Also, if anyone is trying to take credit for your ideas, I feel it will be revealed, and that person will be reprimanded for that. So watch out for that too. Now, we do have the Shadow Self, which of course is the Devil card. Now, the Devil card can represent a level of obsession about something. So if you're allowing worry or fear to take over a situation, it's about stepping back, identifying what you're worried about, shining a light on it, and resolving it. I mean, I feel like you're learning a lesson there with the World card. That tends to mean, you know, achieving a goal or a lesson being completed. But I feel the shadow side is something that you will look at over this time period. Gemini, you always look at the light and the dark of life because you have that element of duality to you. So you're not afraid of looking at those areas because it actually informs you in a very positive way. But some of you may be worried about time because they're showing clocks to me right now. And there is, well, that does kind of look like a clock, even though there's no numbers there. It does kind of look like a clock. Some of you may have been worried about time, or you have a deadline to meet in some way. I mean, it could literally be about paying rent, or it could be about you trying to meet a deadline for a project or for university or college or something like that. I definitely see that you will ace it. You will meet your target, okay? Now, the shadow self is also about identifying areas that make you feel stuck or that you feel addicted to. So if you are addicted to a food substance, or to a substance in general, you may look at it and how it controls your life or how you are trying to control it. Okay, the Devil card is not an evil card. It actually helps us identify areas in our life that we feel helpless to change a situation. So for example, If you want to get into shape, but you have no energy, or you feel a little bit low motivation, you know, you feel helpless to change that circumstance because your body just doesn't feel up to it. Or if you've been unwell or had a procedure, you know, the mind is willing. It's saying, I want to get in shape. But at the same time, the body is saying, honor my energy. I have no energy for this right now. So you will find solutions to your situation in order to bring in that vitality and release yourself from the thing that you feel is having a hold over you. Now, for some of you, if you're looking for love, okay, it's not that I don't see love for you. Maybe not something that you're focused on at this time, but there is a little bit of chemistry between you and someone coming on in. So if you are looking for a connection, there is a spark. We've got an Ace of Wands and the Devil card, and that means hot and sexy times, okay? So if you are looking for something a little bit more long-term, then of course, you know, I would say speak up and say what you're hoping for so that both parties can really identify whether you're on the same page or whether you're headed in the same direction. Ultimately, there is a possibility to have a really nice encounter. It doesn't have to be like a one-night encounter. It could be something that's a little bit more long-standing, but it may not be long-term. That's on offer for you. You may not take it. It's up to you. We all have free will, but it is available. So I see a flirtation between you and somebody over the solar eclipse there. And I feel it could lead to something in the future, but I do feel like there has to be a conversation to see if you're on the same page. I mean, if you're just meeting this person for the first time, don't be like, you know, I want to settle down, have children. You know, that can put a little bit of an intensity to the relationship right at the beginning that may stifle something that could have been very organic and very rewarding. So, you know, be in the flow of the whole thing. Now, the Devil card literally shows us problems that constrain us or that are an illusion. Sometimes fear tries to impede our path. Fear, when you break it down, is false evidence appearing real. So the ego, when you're about to do something that will bring a lot of merit or excitement or emotional reward into your life, sometimes that ego steps up and says, hey, what if you fail? What if that person doesn't like you? What if that situation doesn't want you? What if it goes wrong for you? What if you look like a fool? All of these things that make us stop in our tracks and rethink, and sometimes put us back in our box if we allow it to. So don't allow fear to govern your situation. If you're about to do something and you're feeling a little bit of anxiety, then okay, it means you're challenging yourself and you're going into uncharted water. And as long as you do your due diligence and cover yourself, you know, you're headed in the right direction because you're doing something exciting. If you've got red flags all over the place that are saying, don't do it, then listen to those as well and don't do it unless you do a little bit more due diligence and, you know, then you can proceed forward when you've got more information. But if you have something in your mind that says, you know what, maybe you're not good enough, maybe you can't do this, don't listen to that voice, because that is the ego raising its head to say, stay in your lane. And you don't have to stay in your lane, okay? There's many lanes to be explored in life. Get out there and explore them. Especially you, my beautiful Gemini, you are a sign where variety is the spice of life. So as long as it's fun and you're not hurting anyone, you know, open yourself up to all that life has to offer. I definitely see some travel plans being implemented here for you. There may be a big travel that you go on that actually will influence your life's journey. So you may meet new people on that journey that will help you in some area of your life, or you may see a different way of living and implement it into the way that you live now. As I said, if you're looking for a job opportunity, there's definitely a promotion or a raise available, or some sort of new opportunity that comes in that gives you more status, more finances, and more responsibility. And again, if you're looking for love, I would definitely say there is something a little bit long term, but right now over the solar eclipse energy, I feel there's more of a temporary flirtation with you and somebody. Now we do have the World card at the end there, which means you are in a period of completing your goals. Anything you start, you will finish, and you will feel very accomplished. There's a lot of success here. The World card also indicates you're going to be in the right place, the right time to meet the right opportunities. and it's an end of a cycle and a beginning of a new one that's going to be very, very positive, and it helps you move forward, okay? Everything is slotting into place, and things are starting to blossom for you in the right way as well. Now, when I put this card down, they're actually showing me a wolf. A wolf. Also, they want you to pay close attention that you will see the yin and yang symbol everywhere you go in the next 6 weeks. It's also a symbol that there's some really good news coming on in that you will celebrate. It's you accomplishing something. It could be a reward, it could be a goal, a lesson, it could be an award, a reward and an award. I just want to get those two separate words out there, because I feel like you will be recognized for what you do. There's some really good news and some success coming your way. There is a win, but look out for the yin and yang symbol. Now, the wolf tends to represent you finding a new path, or you searching for a new way of doing something. Pathfinder, you really going inwards to look at your inner compass. So pay close attention to any insights you gather over the solar eclipse, because your heart knows the way, okay, and it will never lead you astray. Now, there may be something as well that you need to do to go off and on your own and do. And that's okay. If people don't understand what you're doing, that's okay, because it's your journey in life. It's not theirs. And we've already discussed you not allowing other people's expectations to govern your decisions. Now, we do have an Ace of Wands, which indicates the universe is bringing you a major breakthrough. This is a very powerful transformation when you get this card. It indicates action, a desire to change something or take the initiative. You're definitely going to be very more creative, much more creative rather, during this period, very productive. Now, this could be the start of a new project, or it could even be you transforming an area of your life where you're being daring and imagining something new. It will happen for you. Dream big, because you're going to achieve big. This is a time to turn your dreams into reality, and the universe is going to help you along the way. Now, the wand represents vitality, energy, a bright spark, and you are a brilliant, bright being with an incredible vision. You may need to bring a little bit more adventure into your life and a little bit more spontaneity into your life, so you may actually discover a new course or a hobby, something that really excites you, something you've been wanting to do for quite some time or explore for quite some time, and it will actually lift your spirits and bring a lot more excitement in. But the universe is actually helping you discover new avenues in your life. Some of you may even move to a new neighborhood, or you may actually almost go off and rediscover your neighborhood and find that there are new pockets, new restaurants, cafes, new areas of your neighborhood that you haven't explored before, and it will bring a little bit more freshness to your current circumstances. I definitely see a decluttering of the home space going on here as well. Anything that's stagnant, I definitely see you are shifting the energy by just rearranging furniture or decluttering your life in general, is what I see. You're cutting out anything that, brings you down. It's wonderful to have things like memories, photographs, keep all those things. But if there is something from a person who was negative in your life or a negative experience, I see you actually putting those things out to the trash or out in general in order to change your energy. They always say, and I spoke to someone who was really relevant actually, if you have things from an ex and it was a toxic environment or a toxic relationship, and say for example they gave you letters or they gave you stuff, don't have it under your bed, okay, because that can change the energy. Things, we are all energy. Everything is vibing at an energy. So those things are vibing at an energy underneath your bed, and you may notice that it may have impeded you going into a new relationship, new healthy relationship with someone else. So just watch out for that. That's coming up. That's really random, but someone needs to hear it. Now, Six of Swords indicates after a very difficult time, you are moving out of that challenging period, and there's going to be peace of mind. Six of Swords indicates, yes, you have been tested, and yes, it was a rite of passage, but you've passed the test, or you are passing those tests. Now, nobody likes to be tested, but we all know that life sends us huge curveballs that we have to manage or avoid. Nobody can escape these things, but the Six of Swords indicates you are protected and redirected, and there is a silver lining on anything that you feel that you missed out on. okay? Because it means it was not meant for you long term. There's something better waiting in the wings. You've got a King of Pentacles there as well. Also, if you are healing or going through a healing procedure, whether it is a spiritual one, emotional one, or a physical one, I definitely see the solar eclipse being such a positive influence on that. It gives you a vitality, it gives you a sense of freedom from this experience, and you're going to have a lot more energy as well as knowledge. Now, of course, we got those King of Pentacles there. As I said, anything with a golden background or a yellow background in the tarot is positive. A lot of prosperity is headed in your direction. Now, the King of Pentacles, this indicates that you're very smart. Okay, you're reaping the rewards of the hard work that you've implemented, all the sacrifices you've made for projects. Even if you're retired, you may be focusing on a project. It will come to fruition. It will work out in your favor. And if you've been worrying about pensions and things like that, I feel like you're taking the necessary steps to put yourself in a really good position. Some of you may even get an increase in your pension that you were not expecting. Okay, that message did come up recently for a reading. I'm not sure if it was for your sign. It was like in the last 2-3 months, and that's coming up again. Okay, this card indicates it's almost like a message: enjoy the best in life as much as possible. Okay, and also to pay it forward, because they're actually giving me this, because your 11th house is influencing you at this time. It does tend to mean that anything that you do for anyone else will actually give you extra karma long term, and there's some really good rewards making their way back towards you. Now, some of you may be buying property. I've mentioned this already. I feel with the King of Pentacles, I'm just going to pull a quick card on this. You may buy a property that, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please show me the property? Yeah, Knight of Swords, you real desire to change your life. Knight of Swords also, it's like a life-changing amount of money that you'll pay for this property. Let me just see a little bit more on it. Queen of Cups, yeah, you love it. You will love being there. It will bring peace of mind. It will actually help you long-term for self-care, and you are a healer as well. So this new property will actually bring emotional security and healing, especially if some of you have perhaps, as I've mentioned already, been broken into. You may want to relocate. The new property you go to, yeah, I feel like you will really love it, and there's peace of mind there as well. I'm just going to go one more because they're giving me an energy and I can't quite grasp it. Oh, okay. We got a Queen of Pentacles. So I'm picking up on energy of some people maybe working from home or sticking to their plan and garnering more money, being true to what you're doing. Even though there's challenges before you, I feel like you're coming out of those challenges and there's an opportunity to increase your finances for sure. I feel like you're being very resourceful and very conservative with your finances. You are someone who is making sure a little goes a long way, being able to save. So I do feel like you'll pay, I feel like it is a large amount of money, but because we got the Queen of Pentacles there, it tells me that you will maybe get it for, you'll bargain it down for a little bit less. Okay, so it may be like 10% or 20% less of the price that they're asking for is what I see. Okay. Stay true to your negotiation skills. It may be very fast paced, you know, they may come back at you quite quickly, but don't allow them to pressurize you. The longer you take to sort of mull it over, you know, I feel, of course, you know, if there's competition, which I don't see here, but if there is competition, then you may want to act swiftly. But what I see here is stay true to your decisions and don't let anyone like make you respond quicker than you should, because I actually see that when you're more measured in the way that you offer for the property, it shows that you're not desperate for the property. You love it, but it's not like the only property out there, even though for you it's like the best thing since sliced bread. So just be a little bit measured in your offer for a property. Okay, so that's coming through. Now I have to say, we do have a King and Queen of Pentacles here, so this indicates, you know, ultimately a long-term relationship. But we have a Queen of Cups here, so because we got 3 people here. If you're looking for love, and as I said right at the beginning, there's a flirtation. Now, there is the potential, do your due diligence, but there is a potential that this person is either just coming out of something with someone else or is still kind of involved with someone else. So again, I would, investigate that situation before you launch your heart into it. Just protect your wonderful self against that. But I feel long term, there is a high level commitment here for you as well. Now, also, you are a healer. So some of you may literally be setting up a new business or increasing a business where you use your spiritual gifts in order to help people, or you use your healing gifts. I mean, some of you may be counselors, or you're thinking about going into counseling or psychology, psychotherapy, things like that, in order to help other people. It will be very lucrative for you, but also gives you a sense of you helping people, which is ultimately more rewarding than the finances, is what I see here. But I do see lots of positive things headed in your direction. King of Pentacles indicates you're in a very secure financial position and you're attracting more wealth. If you are stepping into a leadership position, you're a very reliable leader, and what you're working hard for will bring more reward, is what I see. And for those of you who are retired, I actually see some of you thinking about emigrating or even having a holiday home overseas, something that you will love, that you can dip into occasionally, but I feel like you will still make your way back home, is what I see, because they're giving me the sense that home is where the heart is. So you may have family there, or you have friends there, but you're thinking about having something overseas, maybe in sunnier climates or something like that. So I'll leave that there. I hope something resonates in that reading. We've got the pink moon for you. And it says, new and exciting opportunities, focus on the new, transcendence, maturity, fullness, fertility, first steps into a new path. And we can definitely see that going on there. And if you have placements in Pisces, they also got that card as well. So new projects are starred for being very successful during this period. Moves as well are really starred as being very positive. But this is ultimately going to be a very spiritual experience for you. Let's get some final cards. We've got feather and we've got gold. Now, some of you may literally be putting your finances in gold in order to weather any economic shifts or inflation, shall we say, as well. So that may be something that financially you are being very savvy at. I don't know anything about that, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it recently. It kind of goes over my head, but you need probably a financial advisor to help you through things like that, not someone like me. We've got the feather there, so I do feel that you will see a feather. Okay, this is interesting. They're showing me a red feather. A red feather. Now, red can be for passion, intensity, energy, but they're showing me a red feather. I feel like it carries a message that is very positive. So it may be around the time that you'll receive some sort of good news that you've been hoping for, perhaps something you've been patiently waiting for. A red feather. So, I mean, it's unusual to find a red feather in your area. It depends on where you are, of course. But you may actually see red feathers on like a billboard, on a piece of art. So don't discount red feathers of where you may see them. They actually are a message of abundance there. It says abundance, easy money, divine intervention, light work, air related, undecided, and travel. Okay, so air related, you are an air sign, but it could be that you are literally traveling. But there, some of you may be using your gifts as a light worker to help other people. And oh, that's so lovely. As soon as I picked this card up, they said, you're worth your weight in gold. You're worth your weight in gold. That's a very positive sentence about you being a wonderful human who is very generous with your time, your energy, and you're a good friend. But this card literally says solid finances, investing, integrity, deep values, banking, long-term position, satisfying work. Now, just as I hold this, there may be someone in your working environment who tries to influence you to do something that is against your morals, or I feel like you will lead with integrity. You'll do the right thing, whatever the right thing is for you. But we've got here satisfying work or satisfying position, things being stable long term. So some really positive things coming your way. I'm just going to, I can't say for sure, but I really feel like I've got like an energy on one of these ruins that are to do with wealth. So I'm going to see what we've got here. Okay, so the first one we got here is the Hero ruin. This is about your potential, a lot of positivity, positive conclusions, and the consequences of your actions. It's also about freedom, but this is about really being the hero or the heroine in your own story. You know, you get to decide what happens in your life. So that really connects to that sense of independence. And we've got the Arrow, Warrior. Now, this is about justice. It's about integrity. It's about the sacrifices you make to get to where you want to go. But because it is an arrow, it does indicate increase. There is an energy here of financial increase is what I'm picking up from this ruin in particular. Now, they are indicating as well, there's just something here about if you're intrigued about fast tracking something, but it may lead to negative consequences should you get caught fast tracking something. They're indicating don't do it. I'm not here to tell you how to lead your life. You'll do whatever you want to do, okay? But I'm just picking up on something. I mean, it could come down to someone trying to influence you to do something that just doesn't feel right. I feel like they're trying to say, if it doesn't feel right, then don't do it, okay? I mean, but you'll ultimately do what you want to do. So that's your call. Tarot is only a guide of what possibilities lie ahead for you. And with the Ace of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the King of Pentacles here, I see a lot of affluence. I see a lot of excitement, a little bit more fun, more spontaneity, and you being protected in all your endeavors and reaching your goals, whatever those goals may be. I also see a lot of peace of mind after a very difficult period. So a lot of positivity on the way for you. I hope something resonates in this reading. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Gemini. Love and light.